Hello guys, how are you doing? I am back again. Today I want to be showing you how not to become another Peruzzi in life. I know that we all know Peruzzi used to be a heavyweight in the Nigerian music industry, partly due to his affiliation and closeness to Davido. But lately, this guy has been under the radar, struggling through life, and you want to wonder how he went from being a darling of so many people to being somebody that his existence barely draws the attention of anyone. I'm going to be analyzing what I feel led to his downfall and what we all can do to avoid a similar pitfall in our individual lives. But before I go more into details, kindly subscribe to my channel, switch on the notification so you can get notified anytime I drop a comment, and get a pen and paper to jot things down because you're going to be learning a lot today. So, Peruzzi, this is him, and this is his former record label boss, Davido. Who is Peruzzi? The guy came into the industry so many years back. According to his story, he left medical school in Cyprus or Ukraine, I can't remember, to do music in Nigeria. He was actually studying medicine, but his love for music made him come back to Nigeria, and he was formally signed to a record label, but he had a fallout with the boss and he was snatched by Davido. They became boss and employee sort of, and he was credited for writing so many songs for Davido and even giving Davido some pre-recorded songs, at least according to his former record label boss. They claimed that he actually recorded, I think, Fire when he was still signed to him, but when they had a fallout, he went away with the song and gave it to Davido. So in the course of his relationship with Davido, they actually had a very good run. He alleged to have written so many of the Davido smash hits during that period, and you can testify to it that during the time this guy was actively involved with Davido had a good run in the Nigerian music industry. But later, this guy left 30BG, which is the record label floated by Davido. 30BG, that means 30 billion gang. After he left the record label, one would assume and expect that he would continue his great run, since he was so good to have written so many great hits for Davido. But we have not seen anything magical from this guy ever since he left Davido and 30BG altogether. And you want to wonder why? Well, look no further. I've done some spade work and I feel I know why he fell off and what we all can learn from his current struggles and how we can apply it in our own lives to prevent such from happening to us. It is good to learn from the experience of others. It is easier that way than using your own life to set an example for yourself. So let me delve into it. Number one is building your own brand. When this guy met Davido, he was so carried away that he forgot to build his own brand. He was just all under the shadow of Davido, working assiduously to ensure that Davido remained number one in Africa. We can say it was selfless of him, but in life, it's not all about that. You can still be writing for your boss while actively building your own brand on the side. But this guy failed to do it. He was just so loyal and concentrated on making Davido continue to churn out great hits. I don't know why he did that, but it's a wrong move. He should have promoted himself independently also. Because at that point, I don't feel till now, we can't say Davido really added any real value to him. Because with or without Davido, he would still have made it, I want to believe. And he shouldn't have invested so much in that relationship with Davido. It's like he poured too much in that relationship than he took. And Davido didn't give as much. And That's one of his undoings. He was just focused on pleasing Davido, doing everything possible to make sure that Davido remained number one, and it worked. But it was at a personal loss to him, and that shouldn't have been. Should have been a mutually beneficial agreement. While you work as a business partner to Davido, you continue to build your own brand also and promote yourself independently instead of working and flourishing under the shadows of 30BG. And that's one. I think he also didn't have a unique identity. He was solely reliant on Davido to give him success. But Davido is a young guy who is still hungry for more success. He was focused on himself, but careless about you. And it is not to fault Davido, but that's just the normal way of life, self-preservation. So he should have, Peruzzi should have also created his own unique identity and stop being too reliant on Davido's boss. He should have made sure that the relationship and the partnership between him and Davido paid him more. But he didn't pay him as much as it paid Davido, because during that time Davido released Fire, Fall, so many great hits that are globally recognized to date. But what can we say of Peruzzi, who contributed in no mean way to the success? He is currently struggling. He couldn't even achieve any level of dominance in the Nigerian music industry, not to talk about the global level. But the guy that you were slaving for, giving your all to, was smashing records and making things happen globally. Another thing is, he didn't invest in himself. He was solely invested in Davido. There was nothing that could say that this guy can survive on his own, because he was not too much invested in his own personal growth. All he wanted to do was to just continue giving Davido hits, writing songs for Davido, and even till date, he still does that while neglecting his own brand. We can't even say this guy can fill a 1,000 capacity hall as of now. Imagine that, somebody that has been instrumental to the success of so many artists in the country, but currently struggling. He can't even say he wants to hold a show now in Lagos and would be confident that 1,000 people would attend. That's how bad it is for this guy now. Don't feel too indebted to anyone. This guy felt too indebted to Davido because maybe Davido saved him from his former record label, and so the only way for him to pay Davido back was to continue giving Davido songs, writing songs for Davido while neglecting his own self. And so what he did in essence was that he lost himself in the process of paying back what Davido did for him, so to speak. But you should have seen it as like a partnership. Davido helped you, but he has also gained enough. It should have been better if you also took out time to invest in yourself without getting lost in the whole process of helping Davido. He could have still made it alone. You wrote Fire, you wrote so many songs. That means if you had released those songs and pushed them and promoted them aggressively, they would have still become hits, with or without Davido. But you just gave up on your own capabilities and you felt Davido was the messiah that God sent to you to work magic for you, and it failed spectacularly. He did too much to win Davido over, and that's something we must never do. In the course of doing too much to win people over, we get to lose ourselves and lose focus, and we pay dearly for it at the end of the day. And he's not the only one that fell victim of this same thing. Runtan and Davido also fell the same victim, because Davido, according to rumor, Runtan gave him Aye, one of his biggest records to date, and he also said Techno gave him, I think, Fall, or was it If? Yeah, Techno gave him one of those two songs. So, and at the end of the day, these two guys are currently struggling despite giving Davido their best songs. They are struggling today because they also get lost in the moment. They wanted to please Davido, they wanted to be on the good side of Davido, so they just gave this guy their best songs. Until date, I'm sure that they are currently regretting it. That's what you get when you just want to win people over instead of allowing the relationship to be symbiotic. You just continue pouring out. At the end of the day, you become empty, and that's what is happening to these two guys also, like Peruzzi. They've given out their best self to others. Now that it is time for them to reap the fruit of their labor, they can't even give more because they are now empty. They've poured out so much. Don't be caught up in the euphoria. We all know that so many people affiliated to 30BG are caught up in the euphoria of 30BG, in the euphoria of Davido. They all just want to be seen, to be close to Davido. Instead of them to pull back and build their own brands, they continue getting carried away by the euphoria of 30BG. They just want to be seen, to be affiliated with Davido. They want to be seen among his crew members without knowing that it will end one day, and when it ends, you are going to be left high and dry because Davido will move on. There's only one Davido, but there are many people like you that Davido can replace you with. So it is applicable to even those that are currently in 30BG. They are still repeating the same mistake that Peruzzi made. Don't get carried away in the euphoria of any star or any record label. Work on yourself, continue to develop yourself so that if the show ends tomorrow, you can still survive with or without them. Here you see, that's why none of them make it after leaving 30BG. Have you ever seen anybody that has gone to do something great or bigger after leaving 30BG? The answer is no. The reason is that while in 30BG, they got carried away. They lost themselves. They were just all about Davido. They want to be seen in his private jet. They want to be seen in his entourage. Wasting credible, useful time that they could have used to develop themselves, to expand their own brand and the likes, on following Davido up and down. Now, if Davido decides tomorrow to let them go, they become stranded in life because they were not actively building themselves. They were just loyal to Davido and living to serve him. Another thing is that don't be too comfortable. These guys are too comfortable. We know that Davido has money, WDPG has money, they have Davido has access. So they get too comfortable. They feel it will continue that way for life. But the truth is that it can't. There must be an end to every run in life. So don't get too comfortable. Success is not seen in a place of comfort. It's seen in a place of struggle and the likes. So don't get too comfortable. These guys got too comfortable, and now that they've been kicked out of 30BG, they are struggling with life because they are no longer used to surviving on their own. It is now difficult to write any song that is great. We know he's a songwriter, but he has written his best songs for Davido. He has written his best song for other people. Now it is time for you to show that, okay, I'm a songwriter. Write a great song for yourself now. You've been out of 30BG for close to 2 or 3 years now, and from now till then, you can't point to any song that you've released that is even half as good as the ones that you wrote for others. It can't be because you don't know how to write, but it is because you've poured out yourself too much. Now you are empty, you can't see, you can't look inward to get inspiration again. And now, people loved you, because of your affiliation with Davido. Because of your affiliation with 30BG. That's one thing you got wrong. You felt you were loved for who you are. No, you're loving you because of your affiliation. You should have used that time to separate yourself, stand alone, and build your own brand, build your own bond with your fans. Have your own fans, not the fans of 30BG or Davido. Create your own fan base so that even by tomorrow, if anybody says they are no longer working with you, you know that you still have your own core fan base. This is the mistake that this guy Peruzzi made. He was just riding on the waves of 30BG and Davido, thinking that he is loved in the industry, that he has the heads of all the people. But now that he has been eased out of 30BG, are they still rooting for him? He has a number of on social media, quite alright, but are they truly his fans? The answer is no. They were following him because they constantly saw him with Davido and they felt he was a pivotal part of the 30BG group, and they were right, and that's the reason why they followed him. But now that the chips are down, are they still ready to stick their neck for him? The answer is no. So whatever you do in life, don't get carried away. And another mistake he is making recently is that even despite the fact that he has left 30BG, he is still loyal to Davido to the extent that he is inheriting his beef. Because I was taking notes of his actions when Davido had a recent back and forth with Wizkid. This guy was still getting himself involved in that beef, something that was totally unrelated to him. You should know by now that You've been born to once, don't get born twice again. You are a songwriter, you can write song for anybody. That's how you are meant to be seen. You can sing a song for Burna Boy, Whiskey, and the likes because you have it in you. But now that you are showing the world that you are trying to inherit the beef of Davido, they are going to stay clear of you and leave you as you are. Continue writing the song for the limited people that you have, but at the end of the day, they get tired of your writing skills and move to the next person. That's another mistake that this guy is making. So whatever we do in life, don't let us just get carried away by all these flimsy things. Let us know ourselves, build an identity for ourselves, be independent. Don't expect too much from people. Don't be overly reliant. Don't be overly dependent. Don't get comfortable under the shadow of any other person, so that your life won't end up like that of Peruzzi, who is currently now struggling despite having it all some years back. Well, I didn't say this from a place of hate towards him. I'm just saying this so that somebody else in his shoes can learn one or two things and take proactive steps to avert ending up like this guy. So that's all I have to say today. Thank you for watching this episode till this moment. But before you go, kindly subscribe to my channel, switch on the notification so that you can get notified anytime I drop another powerful content. Till we see again. Bye.